Bonjour, Kinamagi Nene, Ireland Indigenous, and welcome to today's math enrichment lesson. Today's episode, Introduction to Volume. Volume is the measurement of how much something can hold. Using this example of a rectangular prism from mathisfun.com, I look at how I would figure out volume. And it is a multiplication of the length times the width times the height. You may be familiar with width times height or length times height for area. Now, if you already knew the area, you could multiply by that third measure. And we use the letters L, W, and H for length, width, and height, and a capital V for volume. Because of the commutative property of multiplication, it doesn't matter in which order you multiply. So using the example here, we had 10, 4, and 5. And if you pictured this, you could picture 10 rows, and then 4 rows, and then 5 rows going up. And you'd figure out how many little pieces go on the inside. And I'd have some options. I would probably choose to do my 4 times 5 first, because I know that multiplying by 10 just means I add a 0. So 4 times 5 is 20 times 10, 200. And notice, because it's in meters, we label it with m to the third power, or m cubed. Whereas area, we just label everything as unit squared. Volume is three-dimensional, the length, the width, and the height. So we have to have a cube at the end. So let's find what, let's see here. Base area of 12. If I go up to 1, it's going to be a volume because our base 12 times 1. If I go up to 2, 12 times 2, it's 24 units cubed. I go up to 3, 36 units cubed. If I fill this up to 10, my volume is 120 units cubed. And when I say units cubed, it's because it doesn't list if it's meters or feet or inches. It just gives us that. So let's see a few examples here. Let's say I have this right here. And this is 5. This is 2, and this is 3. Remember, volume is equal to length times width times height. So I have 2 times 5 times 3. So I look at 2 times 5 is 10 times 3, and I end up with 30 units cubed. And most times you'll see whether it's inches or feet, and that'll help you out. And let's also assume that there are no curved lines, that it's all straight. At this point, I would like you to try some, either using the Google form or the paper, and then putting the answer in. If this is confusing, please reach out. It's an introduction. Again, with the goal of making sure that by the time we engage in any assessments, that you've had at least a little chance to understand the material, even though it'll be towards the end of the year. So I encourage you to reach out to me. Have a minogijagad, minwa, bamapi.